Hello and welcome to Wednesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where the eagle-eyed among you will note that the puzzle on screen looks very familiar because it's the one I did yesterday. And that is because today the dastardly Mark has sent me a link to a puzzle that he'd like me to open live on camera. So in fact, why don't we just do that? Let me paste this into the browser and we will see what delightful concoction he's come up with for today. Here we go. Just an Anti-King Killer by Nahileon. What's the... Oh dear. Okay. That's not very much information. It can't just be an anti-king. That really won't work. Put the digits 1 to 3 twice... What? Put the digits 1 to 3 twice each, and the digits 4 to 6 once each, in every row, column and 3x3 box. So normal Sudoku rules do not apply here. Whoa, cells separated by a king's move in chess cannot contain the same digit. And digits in the cage sum to the small clue in the top left corner of the K. Oh, wow. Wow. Well, okay. Nahilian's puzzles are a complete joy. Whenever I've tried them, I've been sort of lost in admiration for their brilliance. And this one, well, that just sounds mad. So literally, I've got to abandon all thoughts of normal Sudoku because every box, every column, and every row has the digits 1 to 3 twice in them, and the digits 4 to 6 once. Right, we will look at this in a moment or two. With trepidation. But I've got two things to mention first. Let me start by saying that tomorrow, of course, is the 1st of December, which means it's Patreon Reward Day. We've got this fantastic Sudoku hunt coming up, the Cryptic Scriptures of the Secret Snake Society. It's going to go live at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. If you manage to solve all the puzzles, send us the solution you get at the end and you'll get a shout out on the channel. In order to be eligible for the prize for this one, you have to solve many fewer puzzles than that. I can't remember exactly how many, but it's a much more reasonable number. Anyway, do have a look at that. The puzzles are wonderful. You can see there the list of the puzzle historians. There are several names you will recognise as being absolute genius setters, so that should be a lot of fun. And the start of the Christmas gifts. Now next I want to say a very happy birthday to Tarek, and that's from your girlfriend Billy. Yeah, Billy told us, or Billy says that you both enjoy the channel a lot, and you especially enjoy it when I say bobbins, which I think you're going to get a chance to hear several times in this episode. And that Billy, as an aspiring seamstress, finds it particularly amusing. Anyway, Tarek, I hope that you have a brilliant day with, of course, lots of cake. Now, the second birthday I want to do today is to say a very happy birthday to Teresa from your boyfriend Martin. And Martin sent us it's one of the most humbling emails we've ever had. We're very fortunate on the channel, actually. We do receive emails like Martin's, well, regularly, I suppose, but this one particularly sort of struck us as being, well, incredible, really. So I'm very grateful to Martin and Teresa for agreeing that I could read this to you, because as you'll see, it's poignant stuff and it's personal stuff, and I hope I hope you don't mind me sharing it with you. So here's Martin's email. It says, "Hello Simon and Mark, my name is Martin and I'm contacting you from the beautiful frozen winter landscape of Edmonton, Alberta in northern Canada. I first discovered your channel in what I suspect has been the same manner as many of your viewers, by watching Simon solve of The Miracle by Mitchell Lee, and Oh What a Miracle. That was my first introduction to the wondrous and at times maddeningly frustrating, beautiful world of variant Sudoku, which I've come to love almost as much as my girlfriend Teresa. It is on her behalf that I write to you today. Unfortunately, Teresa was struck down with COVID very early in the pandemic. I know of no other illness which can inflict such a vast array of symptoms on those it infects. In Teresa's case, not only did she experience the terrible respiratory illness, but she also lost muscle control and with it the ability to walk. When I first met her, she was incredibly physically active and regularly performed in aerial gymnastics on trapeze, hoop and silks. Days after her illness set in, she was no longer able to stand upright without assistance. I'd like to say that through it all she never lost her fighting spirit, but life rarely is so kind. Days stretched into weeks and then months, without her regaining mobility. And even with my encouragement and support, I'm afraid she endured some very dark times. Your daily videos gave her something to look forward to. They gave her a reason to struggle out of bed, fight through the exhaustion of simply getting dressed, and encouraged her to take a few more steps towards the sofa so that she could share a few minutes with you each day. You gave her something to laugh about. You showed her there were still beautiful things in the world, and that she could be a part of those things. You helped her find joy despite all she had seemingly lost. We would make a habit of watching your videos each night. The words, "Let's get cracking," signalled the start of a new adventure. We would shout bobbins at the screen when prompted, sing about threes in the corner, despair over chocolate teapots, and delight when things started off completely wrong, because it was always exciting, and sometimes truly awesome, watching you put all the numbers to rights again. During lockdowns, when we couldn't see our families, neither of us, but especially Teresa, in light of what she had experienced, ever felt totally alone, because we could visit with 2 new friends each night. Although it has taken the full breadth of the past 2.5 years, I'm happy to say Teresa has regained much of her previous mobility. She no longer needs the assistance of a walker, has started going back to the gym, and has even entertained several job interviews this past week. I can say with total confidence that much of Teresa's recovery was aided by the joy we both shared in watching your videos. And it goes on from there. And I mean, well, let me start by saying, Teresa, firstly, happy birthday. Secondly, Mark and I are just thrilled to hear that you are now on the mend. What a nightmare you've gone through, but both of you, yeah, it is. It's very weird and very humbling to hear things like this, and I wanted to read this out because I think we all either know people or we ourselves, we can struggle with things, and taking our minds off the everyday with a little trip to this land of logic and beauty is really a nice oasis to have at our disposal. I love it. I frequently find myself, and I'll be down about something or annoyed about something or whatever it is, and I can just go and solve a puzzle. I might not record myself solving it, but I can just go and take myself away and get into a good headspace by solving these beautiful, beautiful creations. And yeah, so just an encouragement, really. If you know anybody who might benefit from it, then these videos, I think they can help occasionally. And Martin, thank you so much for your email. It meant an awful lot to us, and to Teresa, of course. I hope you have some chocolate cake today. You certainly deserve it. Now, all that said and done, let's turn our attention to actually solving the puzzle and have a look at Just an Anti-King Killer by Nahileon. And I've read the rules. I'm not going to reread them. I think I understand them. Do have a go at this. The way to play is to click the link under the video. Mark has given me no indication as to how difficult this is. You will have to judge it from the length of the video. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. And let me think about this. So I've got to put two of the digits 1, 2, and 3, and one of the digits 4, 5, and 6. Right, so I can tell you something about the puzzle immediately, actually. And that is that the middle cell of each box is going to have to be a 4, 5, or a 6. And that is because if we try to put a 1, 2, or a 3 in the middle, we can't put another one in the box because of the king's move constraint. Because a chess king, of course, can move one cell in each direction. So if we did put a 1 there, we couldn't have a 1 in any of those cells, and that would break the rules. So that cell, and indeed all the other centres, are going to have to be 4, 5, and 6. Now that's given me a whole load of triples, look. I don't... do I want to pencil mark the 1s, 2s and 3s? I'm not sure I do. I was just thinking that if I put 1, 2 and 3 into those cells, it's so stupid. Because I can't really use... if I found out that cell was a 1, it doesn't mean I can eliminate 1 from any of these other cells. I could eliminate 1 from that cell. That's as much as it means. Because there's got to be a second 1 in this row. So no, I'm not doing that. I refuse. Is this cage in some way restricted? What are... Oh, actually, hang on. Those, maybe that's more sensible. These digits have got to be from 1, 2 and 3 because of the 4, 5, 6 triple in column 5. So I could make those add up to 8 if they were 2 3s and a 2. And I could make that a 6 and a 5, which is 11. That's it. Right, okay, so this cage is useful. So we actually have to maximise everything that's possible in this string of 5 digits. So if I made this a 6-5 pair, that would add up to 11. I can double a 3 in these 3 cells and have 1, 2, because I can have 2 3s in the column. So that gives me 8 plus 11 is 19. So this has to be a 6. And if that has to be a 6 and that was a 5-6 pair, that has to be a 5. That has to be a 6. Those two can't both be 3 because that will put 3s within a king's move of each other. So that's a 3. And this is... Well, okay, do I pencil mark that? Because that is a 2-3 pair. Okay, I am going to pencil mark it just for a moment because I can do better than this. Where is the other 3 in this box? And the answer is I only have the vaguest of clues, but I have enough of a clue to be useful. The second 3 in box 2 is not in any of those cells because it would connect with the 3 that we've already placed. So it's in that little domino. And that little domino means this cell can't be a 3. Because if it was, you couldn't put a second 3 in box 2 anymore because of the king's move constraint. So that's a 2, that's a 3, that's not a 3, and I've actually got a start here. This is a 5 and a 6, so that's a 4 by Sudoku. This square's not a 6, that's not a 6, that's not a 5, that's not a 5, that's not a 4, that's not a 4. And what have I got left to put in here? I've got to put in... Okay, ones and 2s. So they've got... Oh, okay, this is... Well, it's a little bit straightforward. I've got to put 2 1s in this column. And I can't put 2 1s in those cells because they'll be within a king's move of each other. So that's a 1. This is a 1-2 pair. Except it's not, because I think I'm helped here by having done a lot of king's move puzzles before. But this 2 is having exactly the same effect as that 3 was. So the second 2 in box 5 is in one of those 3 cells, which means that simply cannot be a 2. It would rule a 2 out from all of those cells. So that's a 1. That's a 2. So I've got the most peculiar sort of run of digits down column 5. And I've got 2 3s there, 2 2s, 2 1s. And the only thing breaking the symmetry seems to be this 6. So somehow, some way, this 6 I think is going to be mighty important. Let me think about this now. So this 2 means that's not a 2. Right. So I've got to put 2 2s in box 2. But this cell is not available to be a 2. So that means there must be a 2 in that domino, and there must be a 2 in that domino. And that's because I can't put 2 2s in a domino because of the king's move constraint. Right, so that means... See, normally this would be useful, because both of these cells now have to be from 1 and 3. But they could be the same digit. Oh, this is bonkers. But that's because, remember there's this 4, 5, 6 triple in column 2. So these cells now have to be from 1, 2 and 3, but neither of them can be 2 anymore because of these 2 pencil marks. If you put a 2 there, you're depriving the ability of this domino to hold a 2, and you're forcing 2 2s in there, and that will break the puzzle. Right, okay, so maybe I do the same thing down here then with 3s. 3s have to go into 2 dominoes down here because they can be in neither of those cells. And again, you can't put the same digit in a domino. 1, this 1 pushes 1s into dominoes. This 2 pushes 2s into dominoes. Oh no, this is better. This is better. Right, forget this 2 down here. Let's focus on this box. Because these 2 squares are these 2 squares are very interesting, more like. Because these are double 2. These are double 2 for this reason. Can you put a 1 or a 3 into this cell? No. If you put a 1 in, you deprive this domino of a 1. If you put a 3 in, you deprive that domino of a 3. So that can only be 2 because it can't be 4, 5, 6 again. Oh, this is just brilliant. It's just brilliant. The same logic applies here. I'm sure that does something. I can't see what it is though. Let me think about this. Okay. So therefore, what do we do now? So, okay, the thing I'm seeing here is that I've got a 3 in this domino, and I've got a 3 in this domino. I've got no 3s at all in this box, but I'm going to have to put a 3 here, aren't I? And I'm going to have to put a 3 here, because I can't put 2 3s in either of these little runs. If I put 2 3s there to fulfill my 3-age of this box, I'm going to have 3 3s in the column. And although 2 3s is utterly ridiculous, 3 3s is actually illegal. So I can't put 2 3s there. I can't put 2 3s there. So there must be 1 3 in here, and there must be 1 3 in here. Now that still has the profound effect we need it to on those 2 digits, which now have to be double 1, because you can't. Getting tongue-tied, but if you put 3 in here, you're actually depriving a 3 of all of those positions in that triomino, and that won't work. And the same is true of 2 with the dominoes. So this has got to be 1, this has got to be 1. They can't obviously be 4, 5, 6 because of the triple again. Now, so by symmetry, I'm now expecting those digits to be 3s. Why is that? Because we've got this 1, we've got double 1 here, double 2 here. Why is that double 3? I can see it can't be 2. I mean, if they were 1, if these were 1s, you'd have got the 2 1s in the columns. Let me think. The answer is I don't think I know, do I? Is it somehow this 6 that's telling me the answer? It could. Oh, no. It's the same logic I did down here with 3s that I can apply with 1s up here. Yeah, this is lovely. It's just balanced, isn't it? We have to achieve balance on either side. So because there's a 1 in each of these dominoes, let's greenify the 1s for a moment. I can't put 2 1s in there, and I can't put 2 1s in there. I never could, but so that means the 1s must be distributed 1 1 to column 4, 1 1 to column 6, and that's enough. That's enough, because that gives me a 1-2 pair here. I'm sceptical whether that is a legitimate pencil mark, but you know what I mean. There's definitely a 1 in those cells. And because this is now a 1-2 pair, and it is a 1-2 pair, to be honest, there's a 2 in that domino and there's a 1 in that domino. That cell is a 3 because it now is a naked single. And that cell is a 3. I paused for a moment because I was wondering whether it was symmetrical, but it is. If we try and put a 1 here, we can't put a 1 in that string, and that's going to break everything in the world as well. So now we've actually... So now I know what those digits are. I'm prepared to pencil mark, I think, when I know what digits are. That's a 1, 2, 4 triple, and it's a real Sudoku 1, 2, 4 triple. Oh, and that's not 4, is it? So I've got a 1-2 pair here, but okay, no, hang on. Be careful. They could be the same digit. Ah! Okay, so I've got a 1, 2, right. So if I've got a 1, 2, 4 triple here, one way of thinking about this, it occurs to me, is that with the 4, the 5 and the 6, I'm allowed to do Sudoku. I don't normally like to do Sudoku, as you know, but with the 4, 5 and 6, I'm allowed to, because there's only one of those. So there can't be a 4 in here now, so there must be a 4 over there, which joins its friends, the 1 and the 3, and allows me to make a 1, 3, 4 real Sudoku triple here, and that's not a 3, and that's not a 1. And that's not a 4. Good grief. So actually this is right. So if this is a genuine 1, 3, 4, this is a genuine 1, 3, 5. And that's not 5, that's not 3, and that's not 1. So at the bottom of the grid, again, I can allocate the digits. The 5 must be over here where it joins its friends, the 2 and the 3. So that's not 2, that's not 5. That one we don't know about, I don't think. Okay, but if this is 2, 3, 5, this is 2, 3, 6. That's not 2, that's not 6. So suddenly I've got some pencil marks. I'd love to know if those two digits are going to be the same. Right, so what is the restricted digit now then? It feels like it's going to be in these rows, doesn't it? But the problem I've got with these rows is I don't know what they are. I know they're from 1 and 2, but they could be the same, which is perplexing me a bit. So these two digits are 1 and 2. Oh, no, right. Here is a small point. This is why this is here. Ah, this is lovely. Right, let's look at that digit. Make it purple for a moment. Where does the other one, let's say this was a 1. Where does the other 1 go in this box? Oh, hang on. Well, actually, that is a good question, but I've just noticed something else. Where does the other 1 of purple go in this box? Well, it can't go within a king's move of itself, and it can't go there because this is a 1-2 pair, and it would force both of these digits to not be purple. In other words, to be the same digit, which would put them too close to each other. So that is purple, which doesn't mean I can rule out anything from it because this is a 1-2 pair. One of these down here is purple by the nature of purple. But I don't know what purple is. I mean, it's obviously a 1 or a 2. Let's put that in. Ah, right, yeah. The other thing I was noticing, though, is in this box there's something else going on now in those two positions. Because remember, these two positions here can't be 4, 5 and 6, and there's a 3 here. So those two cells have got to be from 1 and 2 as well. And we now know they are not purple, which I know they're not purple at the moment, but they really aren't purple. Let's make them yellow. We've got these new colours that Sven's given us in the software. So now one of those digits is a 3, is what I'm seeing, because this can't be a 3, and I need a second 3 in this box. So that digit is a 4, 5 or a 6 by Sudoku. Something I haven't used very much in this puzzle. Oh, that digit is not purple, so that's got to be yellow, which means that digit's purple. Now, which way round do these go then? They've got to be one of each. I don't know. I've got a horrible feeling. I've got a horrible feeling that I know these have to be different. I've just proved in my head they have to be different by looking at the right side of the grid, but I could have proved they have to be different by looking at the left side of the grid. Oh dear. That's not a 2, look. Oh, I thought that was going to do something, but no. Okay, alright, I'm stumped. So what's it going to be then? Are we going to have to... How do I do this? This is perplexing. Right, that digit. Right, okay, these two digits now can't be 1s and 2s. That digit's a naked thing. Oh, goodness, that's how you do it. You use your brain. That's the idea. Right, that digit sees both flavours of 1 and 2, and we know it's not 4, 5 and 6 because of the triple, so that is a 3. Now there's got to be another 3 in this box, which is now in one of those cells, which means that can't be a 3, which presumably means that's a naked... Oh, it's a naked single as well. Oh, that's so strange. That's so strange. Oh, Nahileon, you are some weird genius. This is bizarre. Because let's think about this digit now. This digit is not 1, it's not 4, 5 or 6, and it can't be 3 because that would rule out the second 3 that must appear in box 4, so it can only be 2. Oh, and which is purple. I've done it. That's it. It can't be yellow, so that's got to be purple, which means that we can purplify this. 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1. I'm not actually sure if that's going to do very much, though. Is it? Well, it must do something with 1 in this box, surely. Oh, purple. So everywhere that purple exists, it's 2. Everywhere that yellow exists, it's 1. Now, I've got to put in, look, I've got to put some 1s into this box. Now, neither of those can be 1s, so these digits have to include 2 1s, and I can only ever put 1 1 in a domino. So there's like got to be a 1 there, and there's got to be a 1 there. Which, is that useful though? I know there's a 1 in one of those 3 cells. If that was a 1, you get a 1 here and a 1 here. That might be possible. Oh, no, it still might be possible. I can't quite see how to do it. How perplexing. Okay, well let's, therefore, that digit is forced to be a 3. This is so weird. That's a 1, isn't it? Oh, so you have to keep bouncing backwards and forwards between sort of domino logic, king's move logic, and other weird stuff. Because in this row, this cell can't be a 1, because I've just noticed I've got 2 1s in it. It can't be a 2, and it can't be a 4, 5 or a 6, so that becomes a 3, which joins its friend up here, the second 3 in box 1, and prevents that from being a 3. So there now is a 3 in this domino, which means that the second 3 in this box cannot now go here, and it can't be connected to its friend, so it goes there, and there we go. Now that's got to be a 2, and that's got to be a 5, and that's got to be not a 5, so that's a 3. That's giving me a 4 here, which makes this a 1. That must be a 3. It's weird, it only works on one side of the grid. It's so strange, because you can't... I don't know what this is still. It's absolutely baffling. Right, I must know what that digit is, though, using the same logic I used here. Yeah, in this row, I've got a 4, 5, 6 triple. I've got a 3 touching the cell, and I've got 2 2s. So that is a 1, which means these two are not 1. Which means that's the only other place for a 1. I'm sure there are better ways of figuring this out, but this is the way I'm doing it. That's a 3 using my pencil marks. This can't be a 3 because there would be a third 3 in this column. So I've got double 1, double 3, so this is going to be a 2, isn't it? Yes, it sees 1, 3, it sees 4, 5, 6, so that's 2. We can purplify more 2-age. We can probably do more 1s as well. Let's do that. Should I highlight my greens? Sorry, my 3s. Of course I should. Of course I should. I hear you cry. Sorry, just got interrupted by Mr. Goodliff, who I have to say does not sound very well at all today. I hope he'll be able to do a video. I suppose if I get the heads up he can't do it, he really does not sound very well, then I'll try and do a second one later on. But yes, I wish you well, Mark. Get well soon. Good grief. Anyway, that took longer than I was expecting. So I think I just put in some 3s in the grid, hadn't I? So what do I want to do now? I want to get more 3s in my grid. And I can do that by using the power of 3-age. Getting a 3 in the corner. That's what we're going to do. How are we going to get 3 in the corner? We're going to get a 3 in the corner by... We can get a 3. I can get a 3 in the corner. That can't be a 3. Ha-ha! There we go. And that's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. So that's a 4, 5, or a 6, not a 6. That's not a 6. Oh no, doesn't work. I was thinking that I can basically do Sudoku with the 4s, 5s and 6s. So the fact there's a 6 in one of those squares I thought was going to give me this square, but no. Foiled again. What about 4 in that box? Look, that can't be a 4. So I seem to get a 1-4 pair. Is that what? Yeah, that must be genuine rather than bogus, because 1 in this box is definitely over on this side, so that must be a 1-4 pair. Therefore, that's a 5. So now we've got a 4-6 pair in this box, and by a process of elimination, this is a 2-6 pair, which means that's a 4 or 5. It's still not resolved, I don't think. Is this 4 or 5 seeing anything? I don't think so. Okay, but if that's a 1-4 pair, this must be a 5 or a 6. Oh no, it still doesn't resolve. Good grief. And this is the other thing that's strange about this, is that basically I've done... Oh no, this is resolved. Look, I've got a 2 here, so that's a 6. Aha! That's a 6, that's a 2. Oh, no, that's not resolved. It hasn't done anything. But also, I've basically only filled in the left-hand side of the grid. How peculiar. Okay. So we're going to have to presumably work on the weak cells on this side of the grid as well. What's that? There's a... Oh god, that's another thing I've got to arrange. Oh my goodness, it's all going crazy today. That's the garage calling about my permanently sick car. Oh no, that's not how it works, is it? I was looking at the 5-6 pair here thinking, woohoo, but that just means that this is a 2-3 pair. But I don't know. Obviously, I suppose I label this cell with a 2 or a 3, but I don't know which way round this is. Yeah, okay, so maybe I have to be diligent about this. I'm going to label all of these cells with 1, 2 and 3 and then delete what I can. So that 3 moves right. So I can see something in this box. I'll come back to that in a moment. 2's come out of those cells. 1's come out of these cells. Oh, what's that? I was going to say that can't be. So look, you get a similar little pattern in each of these boxes. Oh, okay, I've spotted something else. What I was going to say is that whatever this colour is, I don't know whether it's yellow or purple at the moment, but obviously whatever it is, those two have to be the opposite of it. And I was going to just colour that in, but I just noticed something else there, which is that the second 2 in this box, I think, is placeable, because it can't go in those cells and it can't go here. So it's got to go there. Now that does actually tell me that that digit is a 3, which means that's a 2 and that's a 3. Ah, this is right. So this is better. This is better than what I was going to do with colouring, because now I've got double 3 here pointing at those 2 squares, which must now be double 1, which means those are double 2. So again, I've got this striping effect with you get 2 1s, 2 2s, 2 3s in the vertical positions. Nahileon must understand somehow how this logic works. Now if that's a 3, that's the second 3, so that's a 1, that's a 5, that's a 3, that's a 6. How does this... Oh, we've got 2 3s in the bottom row, so that's 2, that's 3. This is absolutely mesmerising, isn't it? That's a 1. That means that's a 2 because we've got 2 1s in this row now. Let's double click all our 1s again. Double click all our 2s again. Double click all our 3s again. And now we can pray that the gods of Sudoku, or whatever this is, because it's not quite Sudoku, is it? That can't be a 2, are going to allow me to finish the puzzle. Well, yeah, okay, where's the other 1 in that box? It can't go there, so it's got to go in the corner, which gets me another yellow. Where's the other... No, that's not going to work. Where's the other... Yeah, where's the other 3 in this box? It can't go there, so it's got to go here. Which means that... So the only other one is where does the other 2 go in this box? And that's got to go here. I suppose the other... No, not... wrong colour. No. Where's the other 1 in this box? It's got to go not there. So right, I see. So the other 1 goes there, and that fixes the position of the 4, which fixes the 4, the 6, the 6, the 5, the 5, the 4, the 1 here. I need a second 3 in this box. It can't go in the top because there's 2 3s in the top row. So that's a 3. Oh, right, yes, and look. Oh, that's so strange as well. I've got like 4, 5, 6 triples going down like this all the way. So that's a 5 now. That's a 4. That's a 6 by Sudoku. That's a 5. That's a 4. That's a 6 by Sudoku. That's a 5. That's a 4. This is just ridiculous. It is off the scale clever to construct something like this. It is mad as a badger. And just breathtakingly beautiful, not just in the colours at the end, but that is something else, isn't it? Let's click tick. Oh, that doesn't... Oh, okay, no, that's fair. That's fair. We cannot expect the software to understand that this solution is, I think, probably correct. I did it logically, I felt like, but it was complete and utter gibberish. Obviously, from a normal Sudoku perspective, the software is testing whether each box contains 1 of each digit, and each row and each column contains 1 of each digit, and this most certainly definitely does not fulfill that criteria. That's mesmerising. Completely and utterly mesmerising. I don't know how you have the idea, Nahileon, let alone execute it with that sort of panache. Cyrano de Bergerac, eat your heart out. That was wonderful. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I do enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and especially when they're about puzzles like this. Loved it. And we'll be back later, I hope. I don't know whether it'll be Mark or me, with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.